Hello, how has been your day? This is Mentoring Masterclass by BOLA Adewara. We've been discussing the issues of lies, dynamics of lies. Why do people tell lies? How to know if they're lying, 9 motives or 10 motives for telling lies, and how not to tell lies. Today, we want to look at 2 topics: motives for telling lies and how to know when someone is telling lies. Let's start with the 9 motives for telling lies. I have been able to identify 9 to 10 motives, and also I've been able to be supported by psychologists on why we lie. However, there are indications that most of all do tell lies for same reasons. I have been able to trace lies or the history of lies to even back to the period of the Garden of Eden. When God asked Adam, Adam, where were you? Or Adam, where are you? Despite the fact that he had disobeyed God, Adam did not tell a lie. He only parried the question. Adam did not lie. He parried it. Do you know what he said? He said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked. I was afraid because I was naked. And I hid myself. Adam did not lie. He did not add lies to his sin. He only parried it. The scenario will come to play. This scenario will come to play when we are treating how to avoid lies telling. Even the son Cain often also parried the question. Often I've asked myself, why did God not include "thou shalt not lie" in the 10 commandments? Because I feel that is where the first basic infraction every man commits, even from childhood, starts from. And it is from that level we will look at why do we tell lies. Now, why do we tell lies? Number 1, to avoid being punished. This is the most frequently mentioned motivation for being or for telling lies, even by children or by adults. It's important to note that there are no specific differences for lies. To avoid, everything is just to avoid punishment for a purposeful misdeed versus a honest mistakes. Look at it this way. A child was told not to go outside for reasons best known to the parents. But immediately the parents go out, the child also go out to play football. Now, when the parents come back and ask him or the child, where were you out to play football? He start lying. I didn't go there. I didn't go there. Now tell me, why is that child lying? Because he knows there will be punishment for disobedience. So the child will tell lies. One of the first reasons for telling lies is to avoid being punished. Number 2, to obtain a reward not otherwise readily obtainable. This is another reason people tell lies. A number of reasons assist people on telling this lie. In society where there are no data, or there are no archives and records, or where records are not being kept, lies can reign supreme. Go to many universities, you'll find a lot of people seeking admission, or they got admission to universities through fake results, fake certificates. Only God knows how many people do get employment with fake certificates. A man will pretend to be a born-again Christian. A drunkard will pretend to be a born-again Christian because he wants that beautiful lady to marry him. At the end of the day, it's not like that. It's caught, and things like this happen. A liar, because that very thing is not easily obtainable for him, he tells lies about it. Number 3, to protect another person from being punished. As with lying to avoid personal punishment, motive does not change with intent. We've seen this occur to several workers, friends, families, and even strangers. Especially, people lie to cover their tracks, not just because they don't want to be found out, but because they don't want one person to be caught. If that person is caught, they too will be caught. They tell lies so that another person will not be caught, so that they will also not be caught. Number 4, to win admiration of others. People do lie to increase popularity, to fabricate what did not happen, so that people will look at you, with some kind of amazement that, oh wow, this person is beautiful. For instance, look at in so many churches, people who claim to go out on evangelism to win. They say they want souls because there is no proof. And no one would say, okay, let us see the soul you want. They just say, oh, we went out on evangelism. Why? Because they want the church people to see them as doing the job. But meanwhile, they didn't do it. Number 5 reasons why people tell lies: to get out of awkward situation. Example of this is to claim to be sick or rushing to the hospital when you are caught on following the wrong lane in traffic. You deliberately follow a wrong lane, you know that this is wrong, what I'm doing is wrong. But when you are caught by the police, immediately you start saying that, sorry, you can imagine, my wife is dead, my wife is sick, I'm rushing to the hospital. Now, when you find some policemen with human make in their body, they will say, okay, go, that kind of thing, because they don't want any kind of evil to happen to you. People tell lies because they want to get out of awkward situation. There are so many examples like that. Number 6 reasons for telling lie. Some people do this to avoid embarrassment. There was a case of a grown-up who was still bedwetting. Grown-up who was still bedwetting. This happened in an hotel I was in for a long time. Some time ago. He wet the bed. And early in the morning, he called the kitchen. Please, can you give me a bottle of water? And do you know what he did? He poured the water on the bed, on that very wet spot. And then when the people came, it was like, oh, sorry, water spilled. He said, yes, water spilled on the bed. Meanwhile, it was not water. He weed on his bed. People tell lies to get out of embarrassing situation. Number 7, to cover an earlier lie. How do I mean? The problem with telling lies is like someone digging a hole to fill another hole. Some people tell lies to cover up an earlier lie, unknown to them that is like digging one hole to fill another hole. That hole is still there. If you tell one lie, you will tell 1,000 lies. The whole culture will persist. The problem in this is that a liar must have a very long memory. He will be busted in no time. So many people who have resolved not to tell lies again, but because of an earlier lie they told, which they don't want anybody to bust so that they will not be seen as a liar, they continue telling lies. Number 8, to maintain privacy without notifying others of the intention. There are people who lie because they want to maintain privacy. They don't want people to know the truth about them. In churches, they are not ready to mix. They claim to live very far. Oh, I don't live around here. I'm very far away. I live very far away and stuff. Because they don't want people to know the truth of their lives. Some will never, ever tell you anything. They keep on having excuses for not doing things because they don't want their shame or their inadequacies to be exposed. Privacy. Because of privacy, they're telling lies. Number 9, to exercise power over others by controlling the information the target has. In a certain society, there was an understanding that to be a president of this association, you have to be under 30 years old. And this man wants to be the president of the society. What did he do? He is in his 50s, moving towards the 60s. What he started to do? He started dyeing his hair, trimming everything to look young. To be elected the president, he had to form this habit to start doing it perpetually. There are people who falsify their ages and obtain affidavits in court to support their lying claims. Later in life, the body metabolism begin to expose them as older than what they claim. People exercise the power. They want to exercise that power over other people, and they go on telling lies. Number 10, there's what we call the hopeful liars. Who are the hopeful liars? I will tell you. We Christians, some people call us hopeful liars. How do they mean? The Bible will say, let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. Is that not a lie? Now, in a way, when you look at it from the human position, it's like you are lying. But in all honesty, you are being hopeful. You are making confessions. He says, let the weak say, I am strong, and let the poor say, I am rich. You are not rich yet, but you claim it. These are the things some people refer to as hopeful liars. In the real sense of the word, it is not about telling lies. In the real sense of it's not about telling lies. It's like you are confessing, telling people that, look, I am rich. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, in the name of Jesus, money will come my way. So it is not really about telling lies. If you ask me, I will tell you people, be one of the hopeful liars. Be one of the hopeful liars. Now, we're going to look at the next topic. Top 10 signs that someone is lying. I am sure the lying situation has troubled the world, that some law enforcement agents around have had to find ways, some forensic ways of knowing a liar, or finding out is that person lying or not, so that they will have enough proof that they will not punish the wrong person. And it is for this reason that a device was found or was invented. They call it polygraph. Now, look at it. The machine was actually not invented to find liars or to discover liars. No. The machine, the device invented by Leonard Keller was meant to do another thing. Now, according to Wikipedia, the device called polygraph measures and records several psychological indicators such as blood pressure, pulse, respiration, and skin conductivity while a person is asked and to answer different questions. When you put a man on the spot, he starts misbehaving. Some of them, they start, and they find out that when a man is lying, the same thing happens to them. When a man is lying, the same thing happens to them. So they use this machine, this device, meant for another thing entirely, in some law enforcement environment to discover if that person is lying or is not lying. While forensic professionals are trained to learn strategies to elicit the truth from fiction, you don't have to be a detective or own a lie detector machine to know when someone is telling lies. By nature, the truth can be subjective and personal perspective can be skewed, but the strategy can be, there are strategies we can use individually to discover if someone is telling lies or not. To this point, a study published in the British Psychological Society showed that people with high level of emotional intelligence might read person well, but have trouble determining if a person's story is deceptive or not. On the other hand, if you wonder if someone is telling you a lie, here are science-backed lists of top 10 signs to know if someone is lying. Please bear in mind that this list may not be 100% correct, but they have been found to be helpful considerably. Number one, when someone is lying, there is a change in speech pattern. Irregular speech is the first sign that someone may not be telling the truth. A liar's voice or mannerism may change when telling a lie. Psychologists have found out that this is true by asking people straight question, pleasant question, straightforward question. I mean, it's just like asking you, is your wife at home? If she's not at home, she's not at home. Oh, how old are you? I am 15. But psychologists have found out that when you ask someone questions by putting him on the spot, or questions that will question his integrity or will challenge him, he starts to jabber. He starts jabbering. So the manner they respond to these are largely differing, showing that they could either be lying or something. Number two, the use of non-congruent gestures. If a person says yes but shakes his head, it may indicate that they are not telling the truth. A clinical psychologist pointed out that non-congruent gestures, such as body movement, sometimes is not compatible with people who are telling the truth. Number three, excessive fidgeting. When someone is lying, like I'm talking to you, you find that many times it's like they are not comfortable. You find is looking here. No. This. No. I am okay. Such things. When you find people, they cannot talk straight. The hand is shaking. The body is shaking. What is happening is that their anxiety level has been kicked into action, and they may be unconsciously trying to calm down. He's talking, he's fidgeting. No, it is not associated with truth telling. Number four, direction of their eyes. In my cultural ethos, our people believe that when you are talking to someone and you are able to look at the person straight in the eye, he is perhaps telling the truth. But when you find a liar, when someone is discussing with you and is unable to look at you straight into the eye, in your eyes, our people believe he's telling a lie. And that is why the Yoruba people will say, Ojulorowa. Some people will tell you, come and tell me to my face that what I'm saying is a liar. There is a level of truth you discover when someone is directly speaking to you. If a person isn't making eye contact, that person is probably telling lies when speaking. Number five, poor memory. One of the problems of liars is their poor memory. A liar can always not tell exactly what he told you the same way again. How do I mean? Let the person tell you a story now. Call the person to tell you the story again in the next 5 minutes. It will not tally. A lot of things will not add up. There will always be some discrepancies from what he told you earlier. When you notice this in a person, believe that that person told you a lie much earlier. Number six, saying too much. When you find a talkative, he is likely to be a liar. When you find a talkative, he is likely to be a liar. When you find someone who is always talking, manufacturing fibs all the time, they tend to add excessive details and embellishment to convince people that what they are saying is not a lie. So when you find someone who talks too much, that kind of a thing, there is very high tendency that that person is telling lies. I guess you have enjoyed this lecture today, and I hope that you will join me next week when we will treat the final discussion in this dynamics of lies. We'll be looking at how to stop telling lies, or how to help your words, your children, to stop telling lies. I hope this has assisted us today. 2 lectures today in one. God bless you, my brother. Stay well.